Hello, I'm your host, Jason Miles, here for another episode of Beyond the Red Zone, our very own show dedicated to in-depth coverage of sports. At least that's what we tell ourselves every time we do this show. For our returning listeners, subscribers, especially our very valued patrons, so glad to have you back. You are the driving force behind the TIR machine. We couldn't do this without you. For those new to the channel, welcome. If you do enjoy this type of programming, please hit like and subscribe as a passive gesture that goes an extremely long way in promoting the channel. Also, for viewers of the main show, we will be back tomorrow with Dudes in Cheap Seats. My co-host and I, JG Michael, will discuss horror movie hosts, the weird and unusual that keep the culture of classic horror cinema alive for a new generation of viewers. And after the show, we'll watch our guests, Alicia Krupski's documentary on horror hosts. As you know, TIR is listener supported. It's a listener supported labor of love. If you dig what we do here and have the means, become a patron or a paid YouTube subscriber. You'll have access to the champagne rooms. You'll be able to join us for movie nights, and you get the satisfaction of knowing that you're a part of making sure the insanity can continue. Now, on to the show. Is Arch Manning overhyped? Arch Manning's name is both his greatest gift and the albatross around his neck. His entire existence embodies the contradictions of inherited wealth and privilege, magnified within a 24-hour media bubble in the era of hyper-commodified sports. A preseason Heisman candidate who had started only 2 games in relief of then-starter Quinn Ewers at the University of Texas, Manning entered the 2025 college football season as a mystery. While he had shown flashes of potential, no one truly knew what kind of team he'd be leading. Behind an inexperienced offensive line and facing a grueling early schedule, the Longhorns' uneven 3-2 start has pundits who once called him a generational talent doing a complete 180, labeling him a generational flop.
We coming for you, nigga.
Whoa! That's mean. Didn't have to double up on us. They point to his ubiquitous ad appearances and lackluster play as proof he's more product than player, laying the team's struggles entirely at the feet of a 21-year-old quarterback. Recently, The Athletic published a scathing piece that went beyond criticism. It was just mean. There was no real analysis of his deficiencies, no breakdown of decision-making or mechanics, just a lazy exercise in public shaming. This kind of punditry appeals to the base instincts of sports fandom, where the nuance of the game is ignored in favor of castigating a single player. And in Manning's case, that player happens to be someone who was not only hyped as the second coming, but who also comes from immense wealth. I won't shed tears for Arch Manning, but the attempt to anoint him as a preseason Heisman favorite says more about how sports journalism operates in the social media era than it does about scouting reports or talent evaluation. In the age of outrage, figures like Manning are perfect fodder for the content machine. We saw a similar buildup with Cooper Flagg, but Flagg delivered. So now we're left to ask, were we promised too much with Manning? Is Texas even the right fit? Will he transfer next year? We're not even halfway through the season, and yet pundits are already calling for the baby, the mother, and the entire Manning family to be thrown out with the bathwater. Why? Because it makes for clickable content. Once you've written the hot take or dropped the incendiary podcast comment, the outrage economy goes to work for you. Other shows debate your remarks. Aggregators quote you, hate clicks pour in, and suddenly you're the center of attention. Do that a few more times, and you're landing paid spots on major sports programs. That's the goal now, isn't it? To make a living off content. I saw a post on social media that read, "This generation has the proudest whores." And I'd have to agree. Selling out, even to the algorithm, is a disgrace to sports and to journalism itself. Now, to sell out with me, I have my man, my co-host of this show. Please welcome Macadocious Rex.
What's up, everybody? One, I want to congratulate you all on your phenomenal meme games in the Patreon chat. Really taking that whole spelunking thing to the next level, and I appreciate you for it. Drea, I'm going to mostly point to you because you dropped some bangers in there. Well done, man. And Red, my name on screen is for you. So there's that. I went back to Cleveland's catchphrase. There's always next year.
Damn.
Yep.
I don't even want to hit a sound effect for that. I was sad. I saw that. I know that hurt.
It did. It stung like a son of a bitch. But hey, it goes to us. I love that Cleveland fan who was anonymous took out a full page ad in the Plain Dealer that essentially said, "Hey, Dolan, pay for another bat or sell the fucking team." So I appreciate that. Yeah, I can't argue that. But
I would like to say before we start with the Arch Manning talk, shout out to the Denver Broncos for doing the unthinkable on this very show. I did not think they were going to get it done. I didn't think the team was up to par offensively. Oh my God. Max said, and I quote, I'm not too sure about that when I said I think the Broncos are going to get blown out. You said it might be closer than you think. I'm not too sure about that. And as I looked at the score, it was 17-3. This third quarter, I was like, this is over. Then I looked, it was 17-10. I was like, oh, maybe there's a chance. And before I knew it, Broncos came back and snatched a victory from the jaws of defeat. I want to say, what up to Paul Prescott and Destin Gastella?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing with that defense, and I think Peyton has found kind of like his running back 1A, I guess, who moved.
J.K. Dobbins or Harvey?
Harvey. You know, that guy's got great burst. J.K., you know, he can put up numbers too. But if you can take some of the onus off Bo Nix and make defenses respect, you know, the run game, it's going to make his life easier when they decide to open up the playbook. So, I mean, the Broncos
seeing Sean Payton run the ball is the big. I haven't been this happy to see a Broncos run game since Philip Lindsay.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're a good team, man. Like we said at the beginning, like when we were talking about the divisional breakdowns, like the AFC West is going to be murderer's row. The only doormat in that division is the Raiders. You know,
Geno, and there's weapons on that team that can get you when you think that they're down. I know Geno looks real lost right now.
Geno can't read a defense.
I don't believe that guy all of a sudden forgot how to play football in one season.
I'm not saying he forgot, but you know what probably happened a lot last year, and I'm not saying this as a dig at Geno. He played in a system where the coaches made a lot of his calls, right? A lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was back in college. Pete Carroll doesn't do that, like to the extent, you know, that with the coordinators he had last year in Seattle, he doesn't have those guys this year, right? So it's going to be on Geno to make those calls that his coaches kind of helped him with last season. And Geno's not looking good or very comfortable.
No, he's not. He's not looking good. No, he's not. And because he's not looking good, a lot of 3 and outs. We're not really getting to see what Ashton Genty has to offer. But the little bit that I have seen of Ashton Genty, I think he's NFL ready. I think he's going to be a quality running back.
It's not even that. Pete Carroll's like, you know, we really only wanted to give Ashton, you know, 10 carries the first 3 or 4 games. I'm like, why? Why would you? No.
I think he was just saying words.
Well, he's the oldest head coach in the NFL right now, so maybe he is a little.
I think he was like saying those, like, this is the end of the press conference words I'm going to say, so I don't say these guys suck.
Yeah, James, you're absolutely right. Chip Kelly is the fucking O coordinator in Vegas.
He looks like hot. I didn't think he looked this bad in the pros. Chip Kelly has had a couple cups of coffee in the NFL. And both times he had some decent records. He was okay with the Niners.
I mean, I would say he had a better luck
with the Eagles.
Yeah, with the I'd say
when he was with the Eagles, I think that's when Nick Foles threw 7 touchdowns in a game.
You know, I'd say he was better in Philly than he was in San Francisco.
Yes, I would agree with you.
Like, there's a reason. Yes, Nuri, that's saying something that we just said he was better in Philly than he was in San Francisco. Because in San Francisco,
He had winning records with the Eagles. Again, Nick Foles threw 7 touchdowns in one game. 7.
but still, I mean, we're seeing a thing now where that transition between the two different levels of football is a little harder to transition to, right? Whether you're going from college to pros or pros to college.
It's hash marks make a huge difference. And if you're just attacking hashes at the college level and taking advantage of that and spacing, when you get to the NFL, you don't have that ability. It's a different game.
Yeah, and it's like I'll be the first to admit, completely shocked that Matt Patricia is running the best defense in college football statistically. Like, there's going to be people that argue that Texas Tech is actually better and all that, but statistically, Ohio State has the best defense in the country, right? And it's like,
really good.
Yeah, it's not even close in some of those stats, right? But we're seeing arguably the best professional head coach ever, might be leaving before the end of his first season is done in college, right? We're seeing Chip Kelly, who ran a phenomenal offense last year at Ohio State, going back to the pros and realizing nothing I'm doing is working. You know, like it's just, it's not easy, man. Well, Snackway, here's the thing. I'm going to push back a little on this, right? College programs are developing professional players. Now, hear me out before you're like, Mac, I'm going to stab you in the face with a soldering iron, okay? The pro game is adapting to what college is producing, which is what they should have been doing for a very long time. You can't stuff square pegs in round holes, right? We're seeing wider splits on offensive lines. We're seeing quarterbacks that work predominantly out of the shotgun. You're seeing running backs that are 7, sometimes almost 8 yards deep, you know? So like, it's the pro game's finally adapting, right? So I think we're probably going to see, that's why we're seeing this preponderance of guys that you didn't think would be good pros. Like, look at Lad McConkey out with the Chargers.
Killing it.
Dude needed to be wrapped in fucking bubble wrap at the University of Georgia. I didn't think he was going to amount to a fucking hill of beans, so to speak. And he's actually having a fucking phenomenal start to his career, you know? And it's because they've adapted some of what they did at Georgia. You know, fucking Harbaugh spent how many years at Michigan? Like, he knows how to put players in positions to be successful. And that will be the nicest thing I ever say about a Harbaugh. You know, so like, you know, it's just, they are prepping. It's just different because professional coaches are finally now adapting what they do to fit the ability and the experience of the college players that they're getting. So I think that's an important distinction. We don't want, you know, it kind of killed me to see like running backs coming out of the spread offenses, like in the early 2000s, those air raid offenses. And Jason, you can back me up, and then watching them play in like I formation in the
I formations.
They're like, I got a block. What? You know,
those guys weren't blocking. They were extra receivers.
Yeah, you know, so we're starting to see some changes there. You know, oh, dude, Claude, don't talk. I don't want to talk about Stefanski tonight because I can go off for about 2 hours about how we're watching him literally crater his own career. And I'm not making light, like, I'm not overstating that fact. He went from winning coach of the year to now, if he gets fired, he may not get another job for a little bit.
You don't like Dylan Gabriel did okay in his debut,
dude,
but that's an overseas game, and those games are different to me.
Yeah, and dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, you moved Flacco out today to Cincinnati, and I don't know if you saw, Flacco's getting the start on Sunday.
I mean, he's done it before.
Let's bench one statuesque, non-moving quarterback for another that's even older. You know, like, that's...
Maybe they think he's going to make better decisions with the ball.
Well, no, that's the
I
thing with
don't think it was a good move. I wasn't impressed with the
no,
move.
no, that's the thing with Joe Flacco. He's going to throw interceptions. Even when he came off the couch and led the Browns at the end of that season, he still threw a lot of interceptions for 4 games. I think he was like at 13 TDs and 8 picks, right? Like, that's a lot, though. Yes, Nuri, he did win a Super Bowl. I'm not going to take that away from Joe Flacco, but he's 40 fucking years old, man. And I'm sorry, he looks like the guy that didn't do like Tom Brady did, where he like made his own athletic stuff, and he probably just eats like Alex Jones brain broth and
Oh my God, why does he have to be a right winger? It's because he's from Delaware?
No, I'm talking about Tom Brady.
Oh,
okay. No, like Brady just lived, breathed, and ate football. Yeah. Right? Flacco looks like the guy that's like, season's over, baby, get the grill out. Yeah. I'm just eating off that bitch for the next 3 months.
His kids make fun of him.
You know, like, and that's okay. Like, I don't want a guy that is like Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's like, probably there's a reason Giselle left his ass. He was probably boring as shit. Okay. Right. I don't give a fuck.
He's married to the game. He was married to the game and not his family. I do think Joe Flacco seems like a great person to have in that young quarterback room, because I've never heard Shador or Dylan Gabriel say anything mildly disparaging about Joe Flacco.
I mean, dude, you got to look. Joe Flacco went from the highest of highs, being the starter on a Super Bowl championship winning team, you know, played in Denver when they were struggling, like went to New York, got benched, and he didn't bitch, moan, or complain. You didn't hear anything from Joe Flacco. What did he do, though? He helped the guy that replaced him prep for the game, right? Flacco knows, like, and he said it before, like, my time in this game as a starter is only going to last so long. I will prolong it by being backup and doing what I can to help young players get ready. And that's great. And I love that for Joe. I think that's a great attitude to have, especially you can still be pulling $1 million paychecks for it, right? Mm-hmm. But you played in Cleveland, who had a shit offensive line, and you can't move. Now you're just heading south in the same state. To go to Cincinnati and play for a team that's got a shit offensive line. What you do have is some phenomenal wide receivers.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can stay upright long enough, you can get the ball to
get it to him. We know Joe Flacco's got the arm.
Yeah. So it's just, will he survive? I think what the state of Ohio is doing to Joe Flacco right now is a great disservice to a good dude.
At least he's seeing all of the good parts.
Yeah.
I look, Southern Ohio is its own thing. I think it's got its own culture. I am not a fan of some of the cuisine of Southern Ohio. I
Skyline chili is disgusting.
Oh my God. If you think that dog food is delicious, and if you think it's chili, we can fight.
Yeah. It's red sauce with meat dumped over Fritos. Like, come on, dude, shut the fuck up.
With like sugar in it.
No.
I don't get it. I'm not a fan.
No. But I mean, the Pats pulled off a win that I did not expect.
Can I ask you before we get into Arch Manning? I know people are gonna be mad. They're gonna be listening. They're like, well, I want to hear you guys call him a piece of shit. We're not gonna call him a piece of shit. The Patriots won. I know you were as happy as I was, because that was a primetime game. The Bills were playing in their, what would they call them? The Snow White jerseys?
I can't, like Glacier White or something.
Glacier White with the silver helmet. Did you just put lotion on your hands? That's the blackest shit you've ever done.
No, I opened up my second adult.
Oh, okay. I thought she was doing some.
No, the lotion's my time. Okay, I moisturize on my time.
I was like, did Mac just moisturize?
If you want to see moisturize, that's the Tuesday shows on ACAP Cooking. Jason cooks Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesdays, I just lotion up.
The female listener base just would have quadrupled had you moisturized your fucking ashy ass hands.
But yeah, someone brought up a good point. It was Claw. Okay. Drake May plus a guy who actually knows how to call plays. It works. And he's got a good rapport with Stephon Diggs now, man. Like the first couple weeks, it was iffy, but the last 2 weeks, Stephon's broke over 115 yards receiving each game. Now, I will say this, though. I don't give a fuck how many goal line touchdowns Ramondre Stevenson scored. He cannot be entrusted to carry the ball between the 20-yard lines. The dude is just a fumbling fuck. I want to see more Trevion Henderson, man. There's a reason Trevion Henderson was drafted where he was drafted. He's a breakaway threat every time he touches the ball. So give him the fucking ball. You know? And I get it. Gibson tore his ACL, which fucking sucked. I love Antonio Gibson. I think he's a good change of pace back. He runs tough between the tackles. But like Stevenson has fumbled the ball 5 times already. You know, I give Vrabel a lot of credit for being like, nah, man, we love him. We're gonna keep him in. Da 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 da. But like, you're not good enough yet, right, to keep up when you keep making mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, the reason the Pats were able to keep up with Buffalo had 17 penalties, 17. And a lot of them were procedural. So like a lot of offside stuff and not lining up correctly. Buffalo doesn't make those mistakes. You know, they're probably one of the best coached teams in the NFL. And on top of that, they hadn't turned the ball over yet this season. They turned the ball over 3 times, you know? So like I was very happy. You know, Drake is going to be the guy that makes us eat crow there, Jason, when we say don't trust UNC quarterbacks. You know,
maybe he watched the show and he's just like, he's got it like plastered on his wall.
Mac and Jason, fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys. Like, he's the one NFL player we're going to get on the team is Drake May.
But before we start talking about Arch, here's the level of petty that Bill Belichick is. He won't let UNC's media team, he wouldn't let them tweet like good job to Drake May after the win because he plays for the Patriots.
Wow.
Like,
really?
What the fuck, man?
Really?
Yes.
Get him out of college, man.
Dude, he doesn't allow Patriot scouts to come to Carolina games. Not that there's a lot of pro scouts going to Carolina games anyway. There's not a lot of pro talent on that team. But, you know, sorry, it's not a good team. It's ass. Absolute ass. Carolina, like, beat up on Charlotte and Richmond. So it's like, oh, you beat up on this one of the smaller schools in the UNC system and then go take on an HBCU. And then when you play the 3 people, you know, the 3 teams in your own level, you get fucking fisted all the way up to the elbow in each one.
I was going to say curb stomped, but I don't know which one I'd prefer.
They both sound horrible.
They both sound like a horrible evening out with Bill Belichick.
Yeah. And Nuri, yes, I'm drinking White Claws because I typically don't drink during the week anymore, and I needed a little beverage to get through the deal with my day. So I'll not be taking any judgments from you, sir.
Well, can we talk a little Arch Manning? I'll throw this out and then I will cede the floor to you. I haven't been impressed with what I've seen from him, but it's early in the season, and with the way college kids move around, with the way the Manning brain trust functions, I wouldn't be surprised if he was not at the University of Texas next year. I don't think he's going to the NFL. Doesn't make sense. He can stay. He will. And wouldn't be surprised if he left, especially if USC can keep winning enough that Maivia, tomato.
You know what? Just say his first name and his position and what team he plays for.
Brown Island quarterback.
If they're of Polynesian descent, please do not try.
Can we just say that Polynesians right now are finally taking their rightful place as the dominant athletic football class?
Okay, let's be careful. We're
with our eugenic discussion.
Yeah, we're pushing into eugenics that I'm not really comfortable with.
I'm gonna make my what was that guy's name? Jimmy the Greek. You know those island guys? They bred them to be fucking massive. You seen Moana?
Maui's huge.
Dude, every time I see a Polynesian quarterback, I'm like, that guy's going to the league. Guy's going to the league. But But if he keeps up putting up really good numbers, I wouldn't be surprised to see Manning sporting
No,
USC colors.
no.
Why?
Because I don't think Lincoln Riley's going to make it through the season. He's not going to be winning that much, man. When the Big Ten schedule picks up a little more and he starts playing better teams, like he's the. If we're talking, let's get capitalist here, Jason. Right? If we're talking return on investment, Lincoln Riley is the lowest ROI in fucking college football for what he gets paid and for what results he's delivered for USC. No.
I mean, USC has been hemorrhaging talent for a minute.
Oh, but you act like they're third stringers.
This isn't the USC from 2007.
It doesn't matter. They're still able to recruit California.
No.
Okay.
Take it back.
I'm not going to take it back. I'm not going to.
The best recruits in the state of California are not playing in the state of California.
Okay. I know Ohio State is getting out there quite a bit. But here's the thing. They still
Alabama.
Dude, Bama doesn't recruit California the way Ohio does. Like, that's the sad part, right? I don't understand.
Miami still recruits California.
I don't understand how Ryan Day is like, listen, man, I know you live in beautiful, sunny, always temperate Southern California, but bud, coming out to Columbus. Come on out here. 6 months a year, there's snow on the ground. You're gonna want a bigger coat, that's for sure, young man. You know, like
gonna want a bigger coat. I think at this point they just give them a suitcase of money and like, is this enough? And they go, yes. Okay.
And they throw a big fluffy coat on top though. They're like, it's gonna get cold.
Yeah,
like,
you might need this. Look at it. It's on the house, kid.
Yeah,
it's on the house.
No, but like he's still like, it's Lincoln Riley, so he's pulling guys from Texas and Oklahoma as well. But like the shine is kind of like rubbing off of Lincoln Riley, right? Because he's not coaching the way he did at Oklahoma, right? And the thing is, the Trojans, you know, let's face it, they were like dominant and then they kind of fell off a little bit. And the minute Pete Carroll got them back, right? That's what they expect now. I mean, I would dare say, and I hate saying this about USC fans because I think it's kind of disrespectful. They're like the Penn State fans at this point of the West Coast. You know, like they expect to be phenomenal, but your coaching sucks. This is why you're not winning.
I think they expect to have something fun to do on a Saturday. I don't think those people know that there's a game going on. You are giving those people.
Are we talking about UCLA now?
I think those people know there's a game and they're sad about it.
And they don't
it's
go.
Really far from the school. Like, there's a reason why it's hard to get recruits at UCLA. I watched Max Brown do a interesting video on that because he's from Washington State, but he played at SC. And maybe this is some of his SC hate, but you know, that school and that stadium are next to each other, whereas UCLA it's different. And he was like, look, stadium's hella far from the school. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's old. It's never full. You can't recruit California the way that anywhere else can.
When you look at the facilities at like the flagship of California's public university system, it reminds me of the shit I saw at Kent State. Like, it's not good. And keep in mind, I went to Kent for a year, you know, late 90s when, well, I mean, Kent State still eats dog shit all the time. But they had just built like the weight room and the field house and all that shit for the athletic program. When you look at UCLA's, it's barely any bigger. Right. And it's just like sports nutrition and the strength and conditioning programs are huge for recruits. Like, that's a big thing now, right? They want to know I'm eating well. I'm going to be physically taken care of as I try and get to the pros, right? If you don't have like something nice to put in front of a recruit, and I'm not talking about the jersey with their name on the back, the coaches out there, you know, he takes you out in the middle of the Rose Bowl as it's like bricks are falling off of it. And, you know, like, just see all this. And that kid's like, I saw you on TV last week. In a 90,000 seat stadium, there was like 13 people here. It was empty. All I could see were the blue seats. I don't need to see these. What about the strength and conditioning area? Like, it was so bad, Deshaun Foster, when he was recruiting last year, would not take the
To the stadium.
he wouldn't take them to the weight room.
Oof.
Like,
Is that neat? Look, I don't know what the young Neuheisel is doing or what he's done, but I read something very interesting that he had never even worn the headset with the microphone on it.
mm-hmm.
So there were times where he didn't know to press the button to call the play. And he was screaming the play to nobody. Nico played a game against Penn State that to me showed you why he got paid so much money at Tennessee and why people believe he's still worthy of that kind of money. If he does, he's staying at USC for the rest of the year, which I really, really like. I don't think he'll be there next year, but wherever he goes, if he can keep this up, maybe not going to win the rest of the games, but that kind of play,
dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, if Jerry Neuheisel continue to call games that play to Nico's strengths, Nico won't leave. Nico just has to get UCLA to a couple bowl games and continue to put up stats. He's going to get drafted, right? That's the goal, right? You don't go to UCLA with the expectation that you're going to be in the running for a playoff spot, right? But the thing is, Neuheisel called the perfect game, right? Yes. Where Nico, everybody's like, well, he didn't throw for 200 yards. Yeah, but he ran for another 120. He had 300 yards
when
offense.
It mattered. He threw when it mattered. He threw touchdowns, and he ran for touchdowns.
Yeah,
the team ran the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
They played really good defense. The second quarter, Penn State kind of broke it open, but they still won the game.
Penn State's expected to do that. They're doing the Ohio State model from last year. We're all in, right? And granted, they lost a couple running backs, but they were 5 or 6 deep last year, right? With guys that could have transferred out and been starters last year, but they stayed put, right? Here's Penn State's biggest issues. I'm going to name them. There's only 2. Drew Aller, James Franklin, right? Those are the 2.
Name me one Penn State quarterback that's been good.
Kerry Collins.
Jesus Christ. You're going back to the 90s. And if we pulled up his numbers.
Bitch, you didn't say when.
I can't think of a Penn State quarterback that I was like, that guy's going to be pretty good in the league. I can't think of one.
Hold on. We're going to pull up Kerry Collins.
Okay, can I guess what his stat line was his senior year? I'm going to guess.
Hold on. I'm pulling up the NFL. All right.
Like he came out in what, 95?
It's 95. He started 15 games.
Wait, in the NFL?
Yeah.
But what was his stat line at Penn State?
Hold on.
Okay.
Let's look at his career stats. Okay, keep in mind he lost a couple years to substance abuse. We're not going to bag. Yards. We're not going to bag on him for that. 4,922 passing yards. He had 196 as I was 208 touchdown passes, 196 interceptions.
Oof.
Completed 55.7% of his passing over career. His highest completion percentage in a season, 61.5%, 2002 with the New York Football Giants, where he threw for over 4,000 yards and he had 19 touchdown passes. Now we'll look at his college stats.
He came out what year? 93, 94?
94.
94. Okay. That's the year Bledsoe came out, right?
93. College stats.
Was he a first round draft
Oh, dude, yeah. Collins
Panthers?
was. Yeah.
Was he the Panthers first?
He was the first one. Yeah. Remember, he was their first pick. Okay, so Kerry Collins in college.
Can I guess?
Okay, this is in 45 games. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to guess his senior year numbers. Senior year. I'm going to guess he had a 58% passing completion ratio. He threw for 25 touchdowns and 2,200 yards.
Senior year. 66.7% completion percentage.
Oh, shit!
2,679 yards passing.
Okay, go Kerry.
21 touchdowns.
That is pedestrian numbers in 2025.
Yeah, but you got to think this is
He had Blair Thomas on that team?
Kajana Carter.
Oh, Kajana Carter was a beast before that leg exploded.
Yeah. Yeah, that leg exploded. That's the sad part. All I'm saying is Drew Aller is from Ohio, desperately wanted to play at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Day scouted him,
Mm-hmm.
did not offer. All I'm saying is there's probably a reason for it. Okay. It's just when you know you've got a huge, phenomenal defense coming back.
Yes.
You lost a couple receivers, but you had some guys come in through the portal. You got a dominant running game, dominant offensive line. You know, Drew Aller has just been nothing but pedestrian the 3 years he's been in Happy Valley. Why do you lean into that at quarterback, the most important position on the field? Right? They let Bo Pribula transfer to Mizzou, who got tired of sitting behind Drew Aller. And guess what Bo Pribula is doing? Just being successful in the SEC. You know, like at this point, right? And I know we're going to talk Arch here in a second, but at this point, it's like Franklin and Penn State need to break up, right? Because Penn State fans really, really have an overinflated sense of how the dominance and success of that program, right? When's the last time they won a national title?
Jesus.
They haven't won one in the Big Ten.
Was it 86 when they beat Miami?
I believe so, right?
Jesus.
Joe Pa coached how many years at Penn State?
Before segregation.
Right?
Segregation was over, yeah.
And he won how many national titles?
3 or 4?
I think it was only 1 or 2.
Let's just I want to check.
Joe.
Are you going to check?
Yep.
I want to know. I think he won more than that.
82 and 86.
Wow, he won 2. Props to Mac. Okay. You know why Mac knows that? Conference.
They were independent when they won those bitches. They weren't in the Big Ten. Yeah. Fuck you, Joe Pa. Fuck you, Penn State. All right. But like, if you were so fucking dominant, okay, you would have been rolling in national titles. It's like, bro, Jimmy Johnson and Howard Schellenberger put together a run, with at the time, a smaller private school in Coral Gables, and managed to pull off more titles in less time than Joe Pa did, right? They have a very overinflated sense of how good Penn State is overall. And it's like, bro, you're not even fucking close. You're an 8 to 9 win team every year. For some reason, old Jimmy Franklin, whose best coaching was done in Vanderbilt. Oof. Okay. Hold on, Random. We're going to get to you in a second. I promise, brother. Thank you for the fucking super chat. I love you for it. We're going to read that too. But he gets to the Big Ten. He beats the teams he's supposed to. Mm-hmm. And I get it. Going up against these big teams, Ohio State, Michigan, the bowl games. The dude is literally 1-20 against top 10 teams. You can't fucking have a win percentage like that against top 10 teams and say we're one of the best programs in the country. No, the fuck you're not, bro. No, the fuck you're not.
They were ranked number 7 when they lost to SC. We have to read Random's super chat. Thank you, Random, for the super chat, by the way. Yes. Gator alum here. Sark should be on the hot seat for getting clowned by Billy effing Napier. And yes, Arch Manning sucks, but I can't imagine the pressure and honestly feel bad for him. Okay. I don't think he sucks. Okay, Mac's going to go off.
Here's the thing. I watched the Texas-Florida game. Florida managed to apply 58% pressure on every Arch throwback, right? Which is a just gonzo statistic. More than half the time, Florida's ends and defensive tackles were able to apply pressure on Arch Manning. Okay. Whether random, I know you're a Florida fan, a Gator alum. Napier is a good coach. What he hasn't done well enough, I think, is recruit to Florida standards. Right? There's a reason he coaches games like this and pulls them off, right? Like DJ, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, Florida's struggles aren't on Napier this season. I think it was DJ just not being comfortable up until the Texas game and getting that freshman receiver, random, whatever his name is, please drop him in chat so I know. But this freshman receiver from Florida got off, like he finally got healthy. And he and DJ were connected, man. Like DJ hit him for 2 or 3 deep passes and I think 2 touchdowns. But Napier can coach. He just needs to put the shit together better. But Napier's probably on the hot seat too right now, honestly. Dallas Wilson, thank you, Random. I appreciate you. Dallas Wilson, that kid balled out against Texas. Just balled out. But here's the thing. Arch just finished up his 7th game of his collegiate career, right? That's including 2 spot starts last year and the 5 games this season. But the kid came in with the weight of the world, every expectation. People are saying he's the second coming of Peyton, which is not fair. Peyton in college, Peyton in the pros is a once in a lifetime player. Okay. The thing is, Sarkisian, got Texas back, and I'm using that term loosely, because they still haven't gotten over the hump, right? And I have a lot to say about the UT program, but that's neither here nor there. But after last season, Texas lost 3 starting offensive linemen. They lost a couple wideouts. Okay, you've got the press anointed second coming of Peyton coming in to quarterback your team, and he did nothing to shore up that offensive line, right? So you've got a kid going into his first full season as a starter behind a substandard offensive line. And Arch Manning has paid for it the entire season so far because Texas hasn't run the ball very well either, right?
No. And they usually have a good running game.
Yes, they usually do, And on top of that, Texas's defense is not good, right? Florida gashed them. And Random can probably give me better stats, but Florida fucking gashed Texas on the ground quite a bit. And when you think about it in the SEC, when you get into conference play and that starts happening with the amount of good running backs in that league
and big offensive linemen,
yeah, you're fucked, bro. Like that's all I'm saying is like it's not going to be pretty, right? And your quarterback isn't going to fix all that, Now, I don't like using the term bust. Okay, but we might be learning that Arch Manning is not as good as advertised, right? I think a lot of the blowback is because before he even really starts his first season, he's in the glasses commercials. He's in, he's got a lot of NIL deals, and that's okay. That's okay. That we want these kids to get that after how many, like over 100 years of collegiate athletes being denied, payment. Okay. And Red asks, Matt, can you address the idea that Manning could not beat Ewers out for the job in 2 years when Texas would have started Manning if they could have justified it at all? I think there might be something to that. I really do. Sarkisian gets the best out of his quarterbacks. I think he showed that quite a bit when he was the OC at Alabama, right? Mm-hmm. Arch is a freshman. No way he's beating out Ewers. You got to think Ewers was recruited very highly. He was a depending on what rating you went with, he was a top 5 guy in his high school class. They're not going to give Arch the start over Ewers there. Year 2, though, you're wondering why Arch isn't playing over Quinn. Because, Arch supposedly has this rocket arm. He's more mobile. He can break off the big runs, right?
Which he did.
And against, group of 5 schools when Quinn Ewers was hurt. And I'm saying that for emphasis, Jason, because I think that should be brought up. Everybody looked at those 2 games that he got the spot start in because Ewers was down with injuries. But it was against smaller programs, right? It wasn't against the SEC schedule, you know? Now we're seeing him struggle against UTSA. You know, his stats aren't that great. I'm going to pull them up real quick, if that's all right, guys.
I think they're pretty on par.
I mean, they're
starting quarterbacks.
I would argue they're even pretty pedestrian. 1,151 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 picks, completed 60% of his passes. When we're seeing quarterbacks, and I'm going to go ahead and toot this horn, like Julian Sayin, who completed over 80% of his passes last week. Just saying, okay?
Against?
Minnesota. Minnesota, the collegiate football power of the 1930s. They were Army before Army, okay?
yeah, okay, yeah. 80%.
Right. I can only.
How many of those were over 10 yards?
Quite a few. They let them air it out this time. They let them air it out this week.
Because the college game, and to some degree the pro game, is so sideways. Mm-hmm. It's not like guys are throwing downfield. So I don't look at pass percentage in the college game. I will say
this: Julian Sayin completed 3 passes of 40 yards or more to one guy in the first half last week. So Carnell Tate, whoop whoop. But yeah. Thank you, Drea. I was going for my best Minnesota. I was trying there. I didn't want to make him sound Canadian. But yeah, I mean, we're like I said, you know, Arch has only played 7 games, man. I think it's still too early to say that he's a bust.
Anything. He's anything.
Yeah, he's a kid in his first years as a starter. And now keep in mind, he still has 2 years of eligibility after this. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Jason, for me, I honestly think he's going to hitch his wagon to Sarkisian because Sarkisian is kind of the quarterback whisperer. It's like once Sarkisian decided to put the whiskey bottle down and get the hell out of LA, like he remembered, I know how to develop quarterbacks again, right? Mm-hmm. But, you know, I think it's really different now because maybe you said it, Jason, when we were talking about the effects of the transfer portal and NIL on offensive line units that just don't have the time to gel the way they used to. Yeah. You know, Texas has to do one of 2 things, right? They have to really lean into that offensive line development through the season, and maybe they do get better as the season goes on, right? And maybe Texas sneaks in to the playoff. But for me, is just like the guy who watches a lot of football. And since I live down south, I get inundated with SEC football. I don't think that's happening this year, man.
I mean, I'm from the West Coast and I was inundated with SEC football because those games come on first.
Yeah. And then Jason, he gets to watch the West Coast games at a normal time while I'm texting him at 1:30 in the morning saying, I'm watching this riveting ACC matchup between Duke and Cal.
Oh my God, that game broke my soul. Oh man, I was like, Cal is gonna win. They fucking stopped scoring in the second quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what?
But I just want to say this. I think I agree with you. It's too early to tell on a person or on anyone within 5 starts.
I mean, 7 games total, man. That's the thing. We haven't even gotten through one season. We haven't gotten through, and let's use the old school season. We haven't even gotten 11 games, which was a 1994 season before the bowls, right? Kerry Collins.
How many games are they playing now for the regular season?
Oh, dude, it's a 12-game regular season on top of up to 4 playoff games.
So they're playing almost a full NFL. This is what I was saying to you before. I was like, I don't know if Texas is out of this all the way because they can put together some big conference wins and skyrocket up the polls.
Lack of running, poor offensive line play. No, they're not doing that in the SEC.
I don't know what's going to happen. Trump is president for a second time.
Well, see, that's
Black Hawk helicopters descended upon an apartment complex in Chicago, and Donald Trump might win a Nobel Prize for a ceasefire in Gaza. You look me in the eye and tell me you know fucking everything about anything.
I know everything.
Shit. I don't know shit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
I don't know shit.
but Political Paints adjacent on par is a term for golf. I guess I do know sports.
That's Joe Payne. Shout out to Joe Payne from Santa Maria, California.
Joe Payne's one of my favorite lefty journalists / streamers / just all around good dudes.
Joe Payne is a good guy. He's like the West Coast version of you.
Oh, well, thanks, Jason. That's a good comparison. I like that.
I love Joe. I know Joe in real life. I've hugged Joe. Two men I've hugged. Two bearded men.
That's right. Just two beautiful bearded men. Yeah, I mean, the trench play in the SEC is important. And the thing is, if you are struggling in one, it will torpedo your season when you get into conference play, right? And that's one thing the SEC, for probably our entire adult lives, have done very well, which is develop defensive and offensive linemen. I think we can both agree on that. And especially since, like, look, Mizzou. Well, we still love you, Newry.
You still, of course, you do.
We love
you.
No,
Mizzou might fuck around and be one of those teams that sneaks in. Another quarterback. All the preseason hype guys. Who's a quarterback at South Carolina? I don't really like that kid too.
Sellers.
Everybody thought he was going to light the world on fire,
dude. It's because he had such a great end of the season where we saw a lot more of South Carolina. I'm not calling them USC. Get over that shit. If you're from South Carolina, you call them USC, you're wrong.
You're not a serious person. You're not a serious person. Don't talk to me.
But he did. He played some great ball at the end of the season. But the fact is, like, South Carolina does these things where it's like an ebb and flow where they put together like 2 good seasons and then it's just like back to normal where it's an 8-win season and that's what you get. It's kind of like Kentucky that way, you know? Mark Stoops is like, you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to win 10 games this year. And the next year, you know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to win 9. And like that third year, he's like, we're going back to 6 wins. You know, it's just like, it's like clockwork. You know, so like it's just, you know, the SEC's, whether we can sit here and argue about the conferences and all that shit, at this point, conferences don't matter. We know that there's only 2 real powers left in college football. That's the Big Ten. That's the SEC, right? Are there doormats that play in them? Absolutely. Jason, random. Damn, dude.
You want to read that out loud?
If Texas ends with fewer than 5 losses, I'll Venmo you $100.
You guys heard it.
Random.
You guys heard it. That's right around Christmas time too. That's perfect. My son will be so happy.
He's gonna get just flooded with dinosaurs if you win.
Yeah, just raining dinosaurs on that kid.
You just like pull out a big box and you stand there, Dad. It's just like dinosaurs all over him.
Mr. Christmas, holy! Don't you say it.
Mom says it. Don't listen to your mom. Nope, don't.
Mom says it every time you come to the door.
No, Tony. I'm saying, like, I was getting ready to say that, like, each conference has their doormats. Vandy's not it in the SEC anymore. I think Clark Lee has done a great job, kind of like taking the energy from Pavia, and he's recruited a lot better. I mean, Vandy's one of the hardest spots to recruit at. You know, it's you know, high academic standards, private school. You know, it's kind of like recruiting at Stanford. It's fucking rough as shit. You know, but you know, there's always one. There's always one team that ends up the one that you figure out during the season is your gimme, right? Like in the Big Ten right now, it's still Northwestern. You know, but the crazy thing is, it's like, if Texas was still in the Big 12, I would like their chances better to get into the playoff this year. But since they're in the SEC, you know, they got the Red River Shootout this coming weekend, which Oklahoma
is no joke, dude.
No shit, man. I mean,
that kid is a Heisman front runner.
Well, and you got to think they're hoping to get him back for this game. He's been out the last few weeks because he broke a finger or something. But Venables has really leaned into NIL and getting talent back there because he knows he's coaching for his job. But can you imagine what it would do to Arch? He goes into his first Red River shootout and just gets boat raced.
That may happen because Oklahoma is not a pushover.
No. And their defense is stout as shit.
But maybe this is the game. Look, we have to admit that college, unlike the pros, is one of those things. And you hear pro players talk about this all the time when they were in college. We totally overlooked school X.
Yeah.
Because we just knew we were going to beat the shit out of these guys. So we didn't really care. We were ready for the blah, blah, blah game. Maybe they're all looking forward to the Red River shootout because Mateer is serious.
Yeah, but I mean,
if they're able to shut him down and actually put together a halfway decent offensive performance, it's crazy. Stranger things have. Did you look? Okay, look.
I'm telling you to look at this.
Look at this.
No, look at this statistically.
Look me in the eye and tell me you were ready for fucking Nico and UCLA to win.
No.
Exactly.
I didn't even know Nico was still alive. I thought he got killed in the last game. When they said Nico Iamaleava is starting, I was like, what? He's alive?
Didn't his brother leave already?
No, his brother's still there. I think they're just going to be joined at the hip, and there's going to be an Iamaleava at UCLA
how adorable it is
for the next 6 years.
Adorable.
But statistically, man, if the Gators defense, which is in the lower half of the SEC and pressure rate, sacks, all that, was able to get that kind of pressure on Arch, right? Oklahoma's defense is so much better, But you're right. Red, you're right. Strange things happen in rivalries games. I'm going to give that to you. You're absolutely right. But, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm with, Random. I don't I kind of feel bad for Arch. When you come in anointed as the next, the next dude up, the next great Manning, with all the expectations that your family brings with it, which I'm going to go ahead and blame his namesake. It's bro, Archie, you didn't exactly light the world on fire. Especially when you got to the NFL. I know you played for an ass team, but
the Saints, Jesus, man.
If you're gonna point to a comparison, his uncles probably are the more apt ones, not Grandpa.
I don't think Grandpa's in the Hall of Fame, but Grandpa played a very long time and played for a really bad Saints team.
You know what? Fuck him.
Teams. You said fuck him?
Yeah, I don't care.
He had a legendary college career.
Rich, privileged white Southerner that played at racist university.
That's all of them. So what? But my point
is, is the king of racist view.
All of them. And I think everyone in the Ivies would like to say, let's wait on that assumption that Ole Miss was.
But they won't say it in that accent. It'll be some other weird one.
He's like, fuck him, his dumb name. Why are you guys so mad at the kid's name? Look, if you want to hate him because he's rich, okay, I don't care. But it's because I have to eat ramen the last week of every month. That's essentially it. If I could have some chicken and rice at the end of the month, I'd be totally happy. But no, I mean, it's just he came in with all these expectations, and that it's always going to be hard to measure up to that. My college is racist as fuck.
It's not me, but it's got a rep like most colleges.
Yeah, Random is right. Arch can be like fuck football and fuck a job, and he can retire at 21.
Yeah,
the amount of money that people like him and Nico are going to make in the next couple years is probably more than they'd make with their NFL rookie deals.
Probably
maybe not with sponsorships, but
yeah. I mean, but getting back to what you were saying about transferring. I don't know if he does, man.
Where would he go? Georgia?
No, I don't think he goes to a bigger program. I think he'd go to a smaller one.
back to the USC.
I mean, I wouldn't say okay, when
Did he
you
go
look
to
at like
Alabama?
when you look at results on the field,
Mm-hmm.
right? USC is a smaller program because they just haven't been as successful lately. But like when you talk about like tradition and lineage, USC is right on par with that. I don't think he stays.
Does he go to Oregon? You think Oregon? If Dan Lanning,
Dan Lanning probably would get the most out of him because he's a mobile quarterback that runs well. He wouldn't be expected to just. I mean, let's honestly, Arch Manning is making mistakes because he's holding on to the ball too long.
sure,
Because Texas has been playing from behind,
Yeah.
and he thinks I have to make the big play, right? Oregon would be perfect because it's like, dude, you don't have to worry about making that big play. Get the ball in the receiver's hands; they're going to do the work for you. That's how that offense
you will
works.
not be playing from behind.
Yeah, you know.
You, you will
Yeah.
not be playing from behind.
Until you play Ohio State. Suck a dick, Oregon.
No, they did beat them in the regular season.
They did, but did they win when it mattered? No.
But another thing that happened during that game, back to what I was saying originally, people were like, Ohio State is done. Fire Ryan Day.
Oh, I
They
was
can't
definitely
beat
mad at
Michigan.
him.
Look,
I will be the first one to admit I was furious.
the college season is long.
Okay, and the thing is, he decided finally at the end of the season, hey, Chip, we're going to stop running fucking draws up the middle to show people how tough we are. We're just going to get the ball to Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and Emeka Ibuka, all these burners we have on the outside, and guess who stopped them? Not a fucking soul, okay? And then on top of that, Jim Knowles decided, oh, let's pick, I'm not going to just play this passive cover 2 I play. We're going to start rushing linebackers and providing pressure. Why didn't you do that against fucking Michigan, dude? Why didn't you do that against Oregon? Because Gabriel under pressure, not exactly pretty to watch. Okay? He doesn't have a strong arm. Get him throwing off his back foot, he will make a mistake. All right? He starts doing that in the playoffs, though. Nobody, and I mean nobody, had a way to counter it. Right? We lose Knowles. I was kind of bummed about that, but fuck you, dude. You went to Penn State. I hope you fall in a fucking vat of Lego and struggle getting out of it. Okay? And when you get out of it, with all your little tiny cuts and scrapes, I hope you then trip into a fucking small wading pool of rubbing alcohol. All right? So
King Petty. Mac.
Oh yeah.
Mac McGinnis, King Petty's back again.
That's right. When you spurn the Buckeyes for Penn State, fuck you, bro. Chip Kelly leaves. I want to go back to the pros. Okay, you know what? Go ahead. All right. And then we bring in, we're going to let Brian Hartline finally call plays. I'm okay with that. Hartline is bringing in the best wide receivers in college football right now.
Right now, yeah.
Let him call the game. Okay. And then we bring in Matt Patricia. And my first thought was, oh my God, this is awful because he torpedoed the goddamn Lions. And the last we saw of him, he was calling offensive plays in New England.
Yep.
So that was quite fun. Right. But then I see what he's doing defensively, where you don't know what type of front Ohio State's running, right? Sometimes he'll drop it 4 on the line, sometimes 3. Sometimes he's putting I'm not even kidding, dude. Against Minnesota, he put in 6 defensive linemen at one point. 6. Right? Like, he's throwing out every look. He's disguising every package, and it's confusing offenses. And that's why Ohio State's only allowing a little over 5 points a game right now. Right? But enough Buckeyes talk. We're talking about Arch Manning. Okay. But dude, I mean, couldn't you see him going to a place like Tulane, Jason?
No.
Like well, hear me out.
Okay.
It's been one of the more successful group of 5 or group of 6 teams, right? Consistently winning 10 games a year. And if Summerall decides to stay in Tulane again, that would be a perfect matchup. Like just a perfect link.
So he could go back home, you mean?
Well, the way Summerall calls an offense, it's literally almost like the pistol, dude. Everybody that plays
saying he would go back home too.
Yeah, why not? You're not playing for the doormat Tulane teams of 20 years ago. This is a good Tulane team. They're putting players in the NFL now, right? But if you show at Texas, right, say this season, and it's just not working, like something's not clicking, right? And you still have 2 years of eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln Riley probably isn't going to get much out of you anyway. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to him. I think Caleb Williams was successful in spite of Lincoln Riley, not because of Lincoln Riley. Kirby Smart, he doesn't run a system where the quarterback is meant to run a lot. It's changed a little bit more because Gunnar Stockton is a little more, well, actually way more mobile than Beck, but his arm isn't as good as Beck's is.
You don't see him go. You don't see Oregon as a landing spot.
I mean, dude, Lanning has that kid. What's his fucking name? Yeah, like if you've got a guy, you don't need to bring in Arch Manning, right? And that Ducks offense has not skipped a beat, man, has it?
No. The Ducks look scarier this year than they looked last year.
Yeah,
and me and you both have our issues with Dylan Gabriel, but do you think Dante's a better quarterback than Dylan Gabriel was?
I think he can be. He's got a better arm. Red, yeah, I get it, but I don't see what other Power 5 school. I mean, there's going to be schools that trip over themselves to try and get Arch to come, right?
LSU, isn't Nussmeier leaving this year?
Yeah, Nussmeier. I mean, that probably would be good because you'd be surrounded by phenomenal wideout talent.
I think if you go to a school, you want to go to somewhere where you're going to throw the ball, where you're going to be able to show your skills, and where you're going to be able to get real good coaching.
Which I don't think you're going to get with Brian Kelly.
No. Does he? I think he's going to end up. I think he's going to stay. I think you're right. I think he stays at Texas. I think he's going to be one of those rare kids that stays at Texas. I think Texas is going to figure this out mid-season. I really do. College football is different. 2 losses don't mean the same thing it meant. 3 losses don't.
Jason's saying this because he wants that $100 out of this. That's what it is.
Look, and this is coming from a guy that, I'm a West Coast homer, so I'll never forget the 2005
the national title game.
That was one of the greatest football games you will ever see.
Hands down.
You will ever see. Even the guys that played in it that lost are always like, dude, we got to watch greatness on that field that day.
Yeah, I mean, if Sarkisian can figure out how to keep him from being pressured on 58% of his dropbacks, it's only going to help, right? Like that's a given. You also have to be able to run the ball. Yeah. And I don't mean arch breaking containment.
No, you mean actually running the ball.
With the running backs, Steve. Yeah. With the running backs, not arch, with the running backs. And that's something Texas hasn't really figured out yet. And that goes into offensive line play, right? Like we can sit here and quarterback is the most important position on the field, but the most important position unit is the offensive line, right? And that positional unit is not good. So here, I'm on a limited time schedule tonight, so we're going to talk sports, and you can talk about spelunking and bungholes and dangly bits on your own time.
I was like, "Oh, we're doing so good," and I'm trying to get ready to wrap because Max said, "Jay, we got to wrap at blah 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 time." And all of a sudden, someone writes that.
Yeah, but no, guys, I would love to stay on as late as I normally do, but I have to be at work at 6, so I want to get some sleep before I go and process 40 vehicles that no one's going to buy.
Damn.
Oh, dude, it's bad out there.
Nobody wants a 15-year car loan.
It's bad out there, homie.
No one wants a car loan that looks like a mortgage. Mac, look at this.
Okay, that is. Wow, that yeah. I'm upset at you right now. I wish you didn't show me that. That was. Oh, there's 2 songs. There's MT right there. MT who comes in and drops in. I came here for oddly misshapen big booty hose. Okay.
Kushlick says, interrupted my game of tiddlywink.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to see that again.
No. No. No, I do not.
Mac.
I don't want to see that again. Don't do that
Wait.
again. No.
Oh.
How does that not violate Instagram's terms of service?
Someone says Areola Grande has entered the chat. And someone says, every day I fight for a spot in heaven. Someone says, why is he eating nuggets when there's bologna right there?
Wow.
This person says, if my mammary is correct.
That we were doing so well.
Someone says, sir, why are you wearing pepperoni?
I feel like this person should be breastfeeding a child somewhere.
What we're watching, for those listening on the audio, is there's a young man who has
This dude's got boobs.
But he's got these huge...
And not like man boobs, okay? These are full on, like, maybe breastfed 2 or 3 kid boobs with giant nipples.
Political Pain called them pepperoni
Le Pew. Joe, you're better than that. We were discussing if you can call men topless. This is topless. That's a good point, Kush.
Someone says, whatever you do, don't let him hold your baby. Oh my God.
Oh.
How many puppies did you give birth to? Someone says, I'm so pissed off that my algorithm did me this dirty.
Dude, MT just said every day we stray further from God on this.
Oh my God, dude. Oh, dude. Someone says, you ever let the homies touch him? Somebody says, am I staring at them or are they staring at me? My God.
It's probably a little of both there. And, I mean, Red, you're not kidding. God left this podcast a long time ago. Jason and I, when I get to Mexico, we'll both be going to confession before we do anything.
I was like getting ready for the show, and
we're gonna do joint confession. We'll just be both sitting in the booth. Father, forgive us. And he's like, us? Yeah, there's 2 of us here, dude. We haven't done confession. And Jason's like, ever. Kush, you're absolutely right. Do you have tits like this guy? Go ahead and head to Victoria's Secret for the super push-up bra. It adds up to 2 cup sizes and gets them right under your chin.
Oh my God.
You can get them lacy, sepia toned.
People keep saying they stared at me. Someone says utter shock. Oh my God.
Zahir said, priest, are you the rummest in that colored fella?
Dude, when I saw this, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to wait till the end of the show. And then Mac's going to be saying like the most profound thing ever. And I'm going to pop this on.
I mean, you really do. You have an immaculate ability to do that, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you slide it in there when I'm not really paying attention. And I look and I'm just like, God.
Like, oh, wait, hold on. Have you seen these?
Back a little, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's got a kick, but it's sweet. I like that.
You handled it like a pro. How's the heat level right now?
It's dancing on my tongue, little fire feet, but I'm good.
Think you're ready to climb another rung? Ooh, that's got a kick.
Woo! That's fire.
Why?
It's a big...
Why? Who thought thought this was a good idea? Who thought they should go into AI?
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what
Yeah.
we need? Michael Jackson on Hot Ones.
Have you seen Tupac at WWE?
No.
Have you seen Mac Dre at the Niners game?
No.
Have you seen Hitler and
Solid?
Stalin?
Yeah, you sent me that
I
one.
said Hitler and Stalin.
And you had JR or the king going, he nationalized his jaw.
He nationalized his jaw. Before you go, I have some prison connects for you.
Hi, my name's Elaine Martin, or I go by Lily. You can go ahead and get a hold of me on GTL. My inmate number is...
No, we're not calling you Lily. No.
All right, what's the next one?
No. No one's
see.
calling.
Let's see the next prison connect.
Do you know how many prison connects?
Just play like 3 or 4 more so I can go.
Oh, wait.
Sir, you still need to pay for those.
I have a dream that one day these will be free of charge.
Oh,
Today is that day.
No. No. We've had Pog chasing MLK as a character for years, and no one AIs that, but they're gonna have Dr. King stealing groceries from Walmart.
The worst one I saw was MLK buying a chain with his ends. The thing that I'm scared of with AI, and that I've always been scared of, is that as a person that loves nostalgia, I also love innovation. And where I like to watch old movies, listen to old music, I also like to see new stuff. I'm blown away by what ideas new people have, right? What scares me about AI is that the past becomes the future. And all you see, we can giggle at Michael Jackson on Hot Ones. There's another one of Michael Jackson doing stand-up comedy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But Michael Jackson's been dead for over 10 years. And I don't need to see him do comedy. But what AI and what this version of AI is allowing people to do, and this is a strategic rollout, is going to allow people to continue their nostalgic runs. So The Office is still one of the most viewed shows in streaming, even though it's been off the air longer than it was on the air.
Yep.
Now you can have season 25 of The Office.
I don't need season 25.
You don't need it, but Johnny needs it, and Johnny can have it. So it doesn't matter what you want or need. Johnny's going to get it, and Meredith is going to get it, and Suzanne's going to get it, and Ladarius.
Oh, I was going to say fucking white people, and then I haven't met a white Ladarius yet, so.
Live a little.
His dad's white and his mom's black, and she's like, "You watching The Office again?" Mom, it's season 26.
You can do things with this, like, for example, this is gonna scare you, and it should, because it's not a good thing. Where is it at?
If you pull something out where the Guardians win the World Series in '97, I will cut you.
You can do that. Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I'll live with that hurt forever.
But see, I'm happy that you feel that way, though. Maybe I didn't send. Let me see if I sent it to myself.
Look,
here it is. This is Michael
counsel.
Jackson as Star Wars.
What is this thing?
Your lightsaber. It shows you, Michael.
I feel the energy, like it's dancing with me.
You're a Jedi now. Let it flow.
Faster than the hyperdrive, we move tonight, blazing through the shadows, bringing the light. The dark side's creeping, but I won't hide. I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna fight. I got my feeling in my feet, feeling in the air.
Force moves like rhythm. You feel it. You flow with it. Balance isn't about standing.
Can we just go back to the prison things again? I don't like any of this.
Red says, sorry, I don't need Star Wars Episode 26 brought to me by AI. But there's someone, Kush, look, thank you, Family Guy, too. These shows have existed for so long before AI because we got stuck in a loop and no one really wanted to bring that up. And people just kind of shrug their shoulders when you say things like, Always Sunny is in like season 25.
Yeah, dude.
And people go, and they just kind of shrug their shoulders. It's like, but why? Why is every show The Office? Why?
First
nothing
off,
new can be.
I would
nothing
argue
new?
Always Sunny is way funnier than The Office. Way funnier.
I've watched the first 1,000 seasons of Always Sunny, but and no shade to the people that make it. If someone's going to let you continue doing a program, you're going to continue doing that program, right?
Yeah.
Law and Order SVU is another perfect example of that. How does a show stay on for over 20 seasons? Soap operas did that, but that was a different kind of programming.
Yeah.
So primetime programming before AI, before the end of cable, was starting to last for long periods of time because we kind of got stuck in this rut where creativity is a bad word.
Yeah.
And this is the death of creativity.
Well,
and this is in all aspects of life.
But Kush brought up a good point. Collecting rents from IP has overcome new commodity sales.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perfect way to put it. Yeah. And like for me, my kids and I started watching Marvel movies when they were like 6 years old, right?
Yeah.
So
20 years.
So we've been watching him for a very long time at this point. And I'm a huge comic book nerd, and I keep thinking all the stories they can pull from and adapt for movies and new fans. Because like I'm not one of those guys like it's not like the comic book, so it's not gonna be any good. Ugh. Like I'm not that guy, But they just keep kind of going back to the well, those same writing tropes. When you've got a whole batch of new characters that have that kind of their own lore and their own stories, so farm the source material for what you need and then build a good story on it. Like what happened when they first came out. Okay. When that group of characters is kind of run their course, they did 20 something movies total together.
Mm-hmm.
You've got this new group. Okay. Let's do something new. No, we're going to go back to the same writing formula. Well, it's obviously not working. Right. And it's just like, dude,
but people talk about it because, like we're talking about, these IPs were massive almost 50 years ago, right?
Before we go on, Toronto is going to the American League Champions Series, guys. We're going to party like it's 1992 and 1993. Okay, that's what we're going to do.
That was the year Joe Carter?
That was 92 and 93. They
George
went back-to-back World Series.
Dave Steve. Who's the pitchers?
Leiter. Wasn't he one of them?
Cone?
Cone was there. Yeah, Cone was there. Robbie Alomar played second base.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Eason, I believe, played short. John Olerud was the first baseman. That's about the depth I can go back to.
That's pretty good, man. That's like 30 years ago. Shout out for 30 years ago.
Red Dog was right.
Toronto
Jack Morris went from winning, pitching 13 innings in 91 to winning a title with Toronto in 93.
Hinkie, Steve, Jack Morris.
Okay, so it was 92. Thank you, Claw. I appreciate you guys.
Look, there's comic movies we can't get rid of. Harry Potter's getting rebooted.
I forgot Dave Stewart was there too. He had left Oakland by that point. Sorry, Jason, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Here, check.
But Claw's dropping us some Toronto lore.
He's a huge Blue Jays fan.
I love it.
This is what pissed me off.
This is my dream all along, brother.
Enjoy hitting, Doc.
Yes,
the watch
sir.
gleaming too.
Yes, sir. Justice in gold and diamonds.
Heavy piece right there.
Feels good, feels free.
This is what people want with AI, right? Realistic depictions of historic figures doing things that you feel they should do or you think they would do in the modern era. That's going to be part of it. Another part of it's going to be continuing legacy programming. Like, for example, Cosby Show had what, 7 seasons? Now it can have 8.
Well, if
It's
you're gonna
gross.
if you're gonna use this shit, do something weird like Bill and Ted did. Let's bring Napoleon into the modern age, right? Let's go there.
But you can do that. The point is, I don't care what you can do with AI. What can you do with your own imagination? And that always blows my mind, what people do with their own imagination. We watched a movie the other night that some people may call a whatever horror movie. I was in, we watched, you know what? We watched a movie that I was in almost 20 years ago.
Oh, I didn't realize you were doing porn on Patreon movie nights now. That's awesome.
It was not, I've never been, because I don't want any evidence.
Booty Knocker 6 starring Jason Money.
But that was 2 dudes that wanted to make a movie. They had an idea. They had a plot that, you know, it is what it is.
Oh, so you went man on man for this one. Okay. You know what? Good for you. Good for you.
No.
You got to get your start somewhere, man.
It's a horror film.
Oh.
Film.
So you didn't hang. Well, those are films too.
It was shot on tape.
So was
multiple locations.
So was a lot of those films.
They are not shot in multiple locations.
That's not true. Back in the 90s, maybe they were. Not now. Now they just find a nice house and they're like, listen, dude, we'll give you $2,000. We need your house for 6 hours. Let's go. And you're not. Knock yourself out. Change your sheets when you're done, please.
Prairie Fire says I'm recording this episode on tape.
See?
But there's something about the ingenuity of people that have ideas and they want to see those ideas come to fruition. What happens when you're using this technology that by its very nature is designed to kind of kill your ingenuity?
Well, dude,
so let's
face it, these companies are leaning into AI to cut out artists. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They're using it to cut out artists. They're using it to cut out workers. This is the only reason why these companies are building data centers and leaning into AI so much, is because they don't want to Jesus Christ, excuse me, guys. They don't want to actually pay people for their creativity or their labor, you know? And that's why it kills me that so many people are hopping on this fucking bandwagon. No, it's going to help us. No, it's fucking not.
No,
it's going to help you up to a certain point, and then it's going to replace you, because that's what corporations want.
This right here. This is everybody's AI dream right here.
It barely fits in the slot.
That's what she said. Jamon.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Right? Give me Michael Jackson as Michael Scott. That's what you can do with this new Sora, and pretty realistic. And that's what people want. I want the same laughter I had 20 years ago, but with a different Michael Scott.
Nikhil just said, I'm not listening live, but I'm a grad student at UNC Chapel Hill. We were pissed about the money spent on football and are organizing for better pay. Nikhil, if you need help,
shout out to Nikhil.
Yeah, hit me up on Instagram. Pretty fly for a commie guy. You're an hour and a half away. I will come and support. Do anything you need me to do, man.
Oh, there you go. Max said it. Nikhil, look, you want to put your information in the chat?
Dude, that means I gotta like log in with my shit.
Here, what is it? Well, I'll write it. I'm here.
It's Pretty Fly. The number 4. A commie guy.
2 M's.
Yeah.
You know, you see people spell it all funky.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Oh no, that's on Instagram. Just hit me up on Instagram.
Oh, okay, that's the Instagram.
Yep. You know, like I'm more than willing to help. Like, if you are organizing in North Carolina, just let me know. I'll fucking get out there. I promise. You know, I'm here to help. You guys know that. And especially when it comes from a university that is essentially lighting cash on fire to try and keep a coach there that obviously doesn't really want to fucking be there, while they're cutting programs, while they're cutting grad assistant pay, while they're essentially, Jason, in the UNC system outside of Chapel Hill for a lot of years, they would not hire any tenure track professors. They were largely adjuncts. Well, it's filtered into the mothership now. So, like, you know, they're really getting away from the actual mission of a college, which is education and getting, you know, young people trained up to go into the workforce and hopefully support themselves. You know, now it's fucking ridiculous, and I hate it. I hate capitalism, but that's not here nor there. Don't ever show me Michael Jackson in the offense.
As Michael Scott.
Yeah, don't do that again.
Yeah,
Please
no,
don't.
it's. I wanted. Look, it gave me a couple chuckles, and then I was like, "This is the nightmare that I've been afraid of for a long time."
Yeah, and it's
a normalization of this.
And like you said, they're going to be making this, like, this is going to become more and more commonplace.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but,
and that's
the bigger question is yay or nay on.
Hi, my name is Eva June. I'm incarcerated at Pocatello Women's Correctional Center. I'm doing quite a bit of time, and I'm looking for somebody to talk to and connect with. If you
First, she said quite a bit of time. She's in there. She's probably working off time for a double murder.
The dude with the super.
Yeah. I'm on the way, Eva.
This dude put his phone number in there. Oh my God. Sir.
You can just get the app, bro. DM this girl.
Dignity.
Red said, I'll poke her tello. Yeah.
They put their number on there so you can find out. That's all public information.
Yeah, and Zahir said, I can't wait to be catfished by an AI on J-Day.
You know what they're letting them do on J-Date now? They're letting them put pictures of them from like the outside world when they were like whatever they were doing and looking like before. It's crazy.
Oh. Yay. Oh, Prairie gave us a super chat. Prairie, again, thank you for coming through. You're going to keep Jason and Raisins for another week. We appreciate you for that. The thing I like about AI so much is I know every time I click that render button, a tree in the rainforest just explodes and a lake in Minnesota dries up. Well, I mean, they got 10,000 of them. They can spare a few, you know, like, what's the big deal? Just oxygen. Oh man.
Yeah, it's a sad world where prisoners are whoring themselves out on dating apps. Michael Jackson is Michael Scott from The Office.
Mm-hmm. And Dr. Claus said, I feel like I'm on the final season of Dinosaurs.
That's actually... Shout out to Dr. Claw for comment of the night.
That Claw, that one wins it, bro. Because if you're not old enough to have witnessed the final episode of Dinosaurs... Oh, I love this one. And that guy's just sitting there like, I cannot believe this is happening.
What are you...
This guy's putting a wrestling move on me, and look at the dude that he's doing it to. He's just like, man, what the... This is where you hear the record scratch and you hear, I bet you're asking how I got here. You know? Yeah.
I bet you're asking. Fuck. Okay. Let's go. Let's go.
You know that's exactly what's going through that guy's head, because he it doesn't look like he's hurting. He's not selling it like Jericho's opponent would. He's just laying there like, I'm laying in chewed gum right now. You know.
What do you do? What do you...
I mean, I've been in a lot of fights in my life, right? Every time Jason renders a video of misshapen AI butts and guys arguing with Wellbutrin, there is a brownout in northern New Mexico.
Fuck you, Wellbutrin.
Whenever the power goes out, Jason's neighbors are like, bro, get the fuck off the AI thing again, okay?
Stop it, dude. We're trying to live.
I'm an expat too, dickhead. Let's go.
The water got shut off today for like 7 hours. And it happened as I was in the shower, totally lathered.
Oh, that's the worst. Man. That's the worst. That shit would happen to me in Afghanistan. Like they hit their water usage. And keep in mind, I only got to shower like once every like 45 days. So I'm in there just like,
fuck.
Oh yeah, you know,
like the commercials.
Yeah, and then
like
and then like the water stops coming out of the spigot, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, you got to use like a bottle of water.
Oh no, you send a dude out that hasn't like got in the showers yet. You're like, dude, go get 2 cases of water, and he's like, on it. You know, just comes back, starts tossing bottles in the shower stalls.
Yeah, it's not fun when that happens. But it's, you know, it's I always look. I'm like, somebody in San Diego got to water their grass.
I mean, yeah.
There you go,
Jason. Having a yard, okay. When you live in the Hunter's former district is very important, because how else are you going to let people know? Yes, Bad Lefty, it is my Bows jersey. That's my team. Newry can sit here and bitch about, you know, I like better quality football. Well, fuck you, dude. I love good football that puts out a nice positive message, like better in a trade union or refugees welcome. And when we do Jersey Day at my work on the 18th, I'm wearing this one.
Jersey Day. What is Jersey Day?
Oh, dude, we get to wear a jersey.
And everybody wears like Lawrence Taylor from Chapel Hill jerseys?
No, dude. It's we got people from everywhere, you know?
Oh.
So everybody's going to like wear their jersey. The owners bringing a DJ out. He's doing a special discount on vehicles, you know, all this other shit. He's making a big event out of it. So I'm just going to wear this one and wait for my boss to tell me to go change, because that will happen.
So you don't want me to? Okay. There's some interesting jerseys at the Mexican flea market.
Oh, I understand that. And I've got my Newton Patch jersey. I've got Gronk. I've got Edelman. I got Bledsoe. I got Nate Ebner.
If you wear a Newton Patch jersey, you're a fucking G.
Oh, dude, that was when we signed him. I was all in on Cam. I love Cam. I like
Prairie says I wear my Michael Vick jersey. Shout out to Nebraska's big win this last Saturday.
Yeah.
I thought about you, Prairie. Look, Mac, it's getting late. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we got to go. I went over my allotted time, and I'm okay with that because we actually did a good job tonight. We talked mostly sports with some criminal connections in a deep AI conversation. So this is going to be good. There's going to be some people out there that are upset that we didn't go completely off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Sometimes Jason and I, we knock this shit out. You know, we have a little bit of fun, but we put our professional hats on, and we give you this good, nuanced, you know, sports, you know, breakdown. That's what Jason and I do. I mean, granted, 90% of the time by this point, we're laughing at just the most inane things.
Yeah, there's just weird butts on the screen.
Yeah, just a ton of weird butts. But you didn't get that this time. That's okay.
I haven't been sending Mac a ton of thirst traps.
No, what he has been doing is sending me amazing little vignettes of combinations of people I would never have thought of, like the woman that's half Chinese and half Latina.
Oh, she was kind of cute, right?
Oh, she was. And the thing is, like, I was not prepared to see a woman of Asian descent speaking Spanish. I wasn't ready for that. But you know, hey, I'm here for it.
I'm trying to find Miss Right. I'm trying to.
Bro, it's just like with Salma Hayek. When I saw that's what Lebanese and Mexican people looked like when they made it, I'm like, Mexican people and Lebanese people should just have sex with each other and make a bunch of hot people. You know?
I'm not going to read what Red said.
No, Red, we can't read that. We can't read that.
I'm not.
Random, I appreciate that. Random said,
Random.
"You guys rule, but Arch Manning sucks."
Thank you, Random. On that note, let's get out of here.
That's right.
Ready? Peace.
Peace.